and lore play would be selected, but for my other characters, it would be deselected. And that is how you end up with a grayed out box next to an add-on. That just lets you know that some characters have it and some characters don't. Unfortunately, there is no real clear way to easily see which character it is that has it installed. At least not a way that I have seen. Anyways, we confirmed that lore books is enabled, so we are good on that front. So our next option is to go into the settings button here, and then go down to our add-ons settings here. And if we go to lore books, we can now see that we have all of our options for lore books. Now you will also see that you've got tons of different settings here depending on which add-on it is that you've installed. And what's great about the add-ons for the Elder Scrolls Online is that the order does not actually matter. Now if you're coming from something like Skyrim or Fallout or Oblivion or Morrowind, you know how vitally important it is that add-ons are in an order to where the ones at the bottom of the list are not causing any problems for the ones at the top of the list, or vice versa. That is not the case with the Elder Scrolls Online or really any MMO in general. Add-on order does not matter because you're not dealing with masters or children of the masters or anything like that for any mods. Everything is just these kinds of settings that get loaded up into the game, and they're not messing with any of the actual data in the game, so there's no risk that you're going to corrupt a character or have any crazy glitches that are going to stop you from progressing. So you can really mess around with all this till your heart's content, until you reach, I believe there is a maximum add-on setting, like the maximum number of add-ons that you can have installed. But if there is an add-on limit, I have not run into one yet. I'm actually running a fairly decent amount of add-ons here. I used to have a list that went to about down here. I finally had to start removing some, but they don't really ever impact performance. The only thing that you might start having is an issue with key bindings, where you'll start having add-ons conflict with each other and then they just don't work at all. So it is a good idea to make sure that you are not having add-ons that do similar things. You want to make sure you have very distinct add-ons so that you don't have that risk of them conflicting with each other. And if they do, you will just get an error message in your chat box down here. It's usually a LUA or LUI. I'm forgetting what the exact initials are, but it's just a little error warning down here at the bottom left, and it'll let you know that you need to mess with your add-ons or something's gone wrong. And I might do a whole nother video about dealing with those problems, because there are some workarounds for it. But that is not what we are here for on this video. This is just a very simple video about installing 1 or 2 add-ons, or up until the amount that I have, making sure that you do not have anything conflicting. So, you will also notice that you have add-ons. So you have add-ons and add-ons. This one down here seems to be specific for Harvin's Quest Journal. I have not actually had any other add-ons use this setting, but do keep in mind that depending on what add-on you're using, it might be in one list or the other. So if you don't see it here, you might see it over here. So do keep that in mind. And for the most part, that's it. That is how you install an add-on into the Elder Scrolls Online, starting from what website you go to, how you install the launcher, how to install an add-on, and how to activate it in the game. So hopefully this video has been very informational for a lot of new players. Like I mentioned, this video was not targeted at anyone who is familiar with the process of installing add-ons. And if there are people who are more experienced in add-ons than I am, which I'm sure there's many people, please leave any comments down below if I glossed over anything, if I said anything that was incorrect. I will be happy to create an addendum to this video, making sure that I am getting the most accurate information across to anybody watching. But to my knowledge, this is I mean, these are the steps that I use to install all of my add-ons, and I have not had any problems ever, actually. Just with the exception of a few add-ons interfering with each other, and it's just a matter then of uninstalling one of them using the process that I showed you, where you right-click and uninstall. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I will hope to see you in my next video. Have a good one.
Rated PG-13.
What is up, YouTube? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you guys an update to my add-on guide for the Elder Scrolls Online on PC. The question I get the most on my streams and in my videos is, what is your UI? Your UI looks good. What add-ons are you using? I get asked about it constantly, so whenever I do make any minor changes, or in this case, major changes to my UI, I always like to update this video so that you guys can see what I am currently using. The main reason I did have to overhaul my add-ons this time around is simply because of the fact that the old UI I was using was not conducive to Cyrodiil PvP. ESO, especially inside of Cyrodiil, is a very, very taxing game on my system. My computer is 3.5 years old, so especially while I'm streaming too, ESO is very taxing on my system. So throwing in some add-ons that used a lot of memory on top of that was just causing really unnecessary FPS drops and ping spikes, and it was just an absolute mess. My system was overtaxed, so I needed to try to find a way to get the user interface that I liked, but using as little memory as possible. And after talking to some other people I know and some other content creators about what add-ons they use and what they found through their testing, I believe that I've put together a really good UI for myself and for you guys to use if you choose to use the same add-ons that I do. That is not only lightweight, but still very effective and shows all the information that you're ever going to need. So I'm going to just go over quickly the list of add-ons that I use all the time, then a list I use inside of Cyrodiil only, because I turn the majority of my add-ons off inside of Cyrodiil except for 4. So if anybody who plays console tells you that you use add-ons inside PvP and that's why you're winning, you can tell them to shut up because you only use 4 add-ons. And then we also have, I'll go over like my configurations and everything afterwards. But moving directly into the add-ons themselves, we have Action Duration Reminder. Basically what this does is it puts a number on your skill when you use it so you can keep track of it. It's kind of like a really nice buff tracker that's on your abilities. And then when you switch bars, it shows it right there so you can see, all right, I still have 10 seconds left of my volatile armor. And then when you switch back, it goes back to your bar. So that is Action Duration Reminder.